Hello everyone, this is AJ. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of AJ's Comic Book Corner. Yeah, a bit of a different one today. I'm going to have a talk and a look at something. Quite old now, 30 years old nearly. So in 1992, DC decided to try and boost the sales on their flagging Superman comic by creating a storyline called The Death of Superman. Yes, now this started, like I said, December 1992 and run through until October of the following year. Now, in issue 75 of Superman, that was the actual issue where Superman died. Now, this was a massive release. It was reported in the news, all this sort of thing. This sort of event had never really occurred in comics before and been pushed such as it had then. Since then, we've had different ones like Nightfall, that came off the back of this, where Batman's back was broken, all this sort of thing. So with Superman issue 75, like I said, it had a big publicity push and everyone was interested. I mean, non-comic book people. Now, back in the day, 30 years ago, I used to run up into London every Thursday, London's West End, where there was a multitude of comic book stores. I used to go on release day every week. I'd book that day off of work, as in, because I used to do my own rostering, even back then. I'd make sure that I wasn't in on a Thursday so that I could go up there. I used to work weekends. So yes, I'd go up there on the day of release, and I remember this day very, very well because I met an old friend of mine on the bus going up who I hadn't seen for some time. He was going up for the exact same reason. And we started a friendship then and started going up every week together without fail. Yeah, so on this particular occasion, the shops were bustling for this comic, and this comic sold out in a matter of seconds. I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it sold out within a matter of a couple of hours. Comic stores were limiting the amount that you could have as a individual purchaser and all this sort of thing. But what we'd done, and even me then, it's crazy to think about it now, but I ran around to all the comic shops, and I picked up about 5 copies of The Death of Superman. Now, it was polybagged. So it was came in a sealed black bag with a wealth of stuff in that bag with it. You couldn't see what the content was until you opened it. You couldn't see the cover of the comic or this sort of a thing. So, like I said, it was a huge, huge event. Now, I was rifling through my stuff and I found this bag here. Interestingly, this bag is from the Forbidden Planet in 1989. Up in London, to advertise the release of Batman, the 1989 Tim Burton Michael Keaton movie. Yes, so that carrier bag is from that time. Now, if I go into this carrier bag, I have a few bits. Primarily, I'm going to take a look at this. This is that issue, Superman issue 75. I have 4 of them in there, still sealed. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to open one of these up and take a look at the contents with you. This hasn't been aired in that time. It's still sealed, like I said, in a sealed bag. Each and every one of them is sealed. Now, at the time, like I said, these sold out in a matter of a couple of hours. And by the next day, here in the UK, these were trading hands for about 80 quid. That's how... in a day. When it was released, it was probably about £2.50, and then within a day, 80 quid trade in hands. Now, inevitably, what happens then, supply and demand, is that everyone who's got multiple copies, like this idiot here, decides, okay, well, I'll sell a couple. More and more people do that, and thusly it becomes available again, and thusly that price decreases. Now, I wasn't really a speculator when it came to comic collecting. I always deemed myself more of a collector, but at the time with something like this, I did do a sort of speculation. These can be bought a lot cheaper than that now, believe you me. So in there I did have that, so like I said, I'm going to open that. I've also got a number of issues of The Adventures of Superman issue 500, which is his return. So we'll take a look at one of them as well. But also in here, interestingly, I have the first edition of a tribute edition of Superman Wizard, the Wizard comic book, with a sort of metallic-y foil cover to it. as you can see. Now, if you're a comic collector, you've got to remember Wizard. Wizard was a fantastic monthly US magazine that came out. Again, that would usually come sealed. Get trading card with it. It was usually a lot thicker than this. It was more square bound. And it was all comic book news, interviews, all this sort of stuff with a price list at the back of the increase and decrease in comic prices. They'd done a section where they would cast a film, like fan casting of a film. So all these films you get today, you never got back then, all these superhero movies. It was a pipe dream, and this magazine would be like, let's cast an X-Men film. Let's cast, an Avengers film, and they would do this fancy casting in it, taking actors who they think should portray. A fantastic magazine. Tell me if you remember this. It does bring back memories. And then also I have an issue of News Time, which is a sort of a facsimile a publication in that it's all about the death of Superman, like a tribute issue to him, as if it was real, as if, do you know what I mean? As if it really happened, so to speak. In the comic world, this would be the News Time magazine that the people in the comic book would buy off of the newsstand, so to speak. So very good, very good. It just bring back loads of memories of this time. So anyway, so let's not waste any time. So first off, I am going to open this here. This is Superman issue 75 from the latter part of 1992, and considering we're the latter part of 2021, this is 29 years old. That makes me feel very old. Yes, very, very old indeed. So as you can see, it is a sealed bag. It has the S on it with the blood draining down off of it. Fantastic image. In here you had Superman issue 75 with a fold out splashback cover, full colour memorial poster, full colour memorial stamps, Daily Bugle obituary, black morning armband, exclusive Skybox trading card, $2.50 US. Yes. So let's open this up. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to open it up on screen. Like I said, these, it will leave me with 3 sealed. Open it up. I don't care. Like I said, you can probably get them for next to nothing now. So let's have a look what we get in this bag. It should all be there. Yes, that bag is now empty, as you can see. So first up, we have Superman issue 75 itself with like a gravestone kind of cover. There's the back. And yes, so I won't open that up yet. So in this issue, now every page in this issue was a splash page, large like this, right? And yeah, massive splash. Sorry, I have to smell. You know what old books and old comics smell like? Because comics are not printed on this sort of paper anymore, so you get a fantastic smell. So like I was saying, sorry, every page of this is one big splash page. Now this run for about, I think it's about 6 issues, this storyline covered 6 to 8 issues, something like that. I can't recall. I do have the graphic novel, and I do have the individual issues of it all as well. And what it done was it started off smaller, but as it got closer to the end, as pages got bigger and bigger, so it became more sort of cinematic. So in this, each page, which is unusual for a comic book, to have one, oh, I'll look at that in a minute, to have one whole page that is, you know, all the way through like this, because obviously it makes it a quick read. But yeah, so obviously Superman dies at the hands of Doomsday. It's a fight all the way through, like so. This does bring back memories, very much so, and it sort of culminates in, yeah, Martin Park Kent there, morning on the TV, some heroes. And there you have a big splash page like that. And yeah. So that's how it ended. So that's how you read it first, and then it culminates like that. But it's too late, for this is the day that Superman died. Fantastic. So then, in here, you did get this fell out, which is like a black armband. You have the red metallic S on it. Yes, you know what it's like in the olden days. They used to wear black armbands, so they're in the morning. Yeah, I know. Brilliant stuff though. Then we did have this here, which is a news report from the Daily Planet. Superman dies. Man of Steel dies defending city. Then we have a trading card of the gravestone. And I totally forgot about these. These are like, they're not real stamps, but they're sticky like stamps. With the S as one. Then you got these four here. Lois Lane cradling his body, Superman, and Doomsday before all the uniform that he's imprisoned in comes off of him. Fantastic. And then here we have this here, which folds out into a big poster of the death of Superman. You have all the issues of Doomsday, which is this storyline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes over 7 issues. I did say 6 to 8. And then following that, you had a storyline called Funeral for a Friend. There are all the issues there that would come after this. So that's the storyline that came after Funeral for a Friend. Now, like I said, then after that, those storylines they tried to recapture that issue again with this white, and I will do this because I've got 3 of these as well. Still sealed both ends, as you can see. Now this is the issue where Superman returned, so we shall open this up. Okay, let's just rip it open because I don't care anymore. So this is a lovely square bound issue, like that. Not as much in this one, but you did get a trading card, which had the 4 replacement Supermen. So you had a Superboy, which was the clone of Superman, Cyborg Superman, who, if you know the storyline, turned out to be the villain of the piece, the Eradicator Superman, and John Henry Irons, the Man of Steel, who is a person of colour, a black man, who donned a steel outfit with a red cape and and a big hammer. He has appeared in the new Superman and Lois TV series, not in this sort of guise. He looks completely different. And he did have a film. They did do a crappy film of his called Steel, starring Shaquille O'Neal in the title role. It had no connection to Superman whatsoever. There was no mention of Superman, no S. It was just a man in a suit called Steel. Now, Steel is still about today. He's a fantastic character. And if they did want to do a Superman storyline or Superman film with a black actor, that should have been the way to go. That should be the character to do. He's a fantastic character. I don't agree with race swapping. I know they're doing this Superman project, but I don't think it's going to be Kal-El now, is it? It's another Kryptonian, which is fine as long as they don't make Clark Kent black. I've got no issue. I'm not into race swapping. Create new characters. And give them some life. And Steel is a fantastic character. I was so happy when he announced his name in Superman and Lois that we finally got a version of Steel at least on the screen. I just wish he looked a bit more like how he does here. But yeah, so fantastic character. Probably the best out of all of them there. But yeah, so then we have the issue itself with a acetate cover, was it? Is that what it said? 64 Adventure Superman with removable translucent cover. So I've never done this. I did have one of these that I did open at the time. I probably still got it. It'll be in a box somewhere. I don't know where. So we can move that. I don't know what the point is of this. I suppose I can stick that back on, but the way it's coming off, that's not going to happen. Alright, so yeah, you got Superman underneath like that, and you have his... So I've totally ruined that now. Not it bothers me, because I'm just opening this up to show you what they sort of done at the time. So yeah, so you're left with that. Obviously that, on the other one I had, I didn't peel that off. That's going to go rubbish. I suppose you can get it back on if you peel it off nicely. But, like I said, these are probably pennies now, bargain basement bin comics. Yeah, so this is the storyline where eventually Superman would return towards the end. Let's get to the interesting part. They find his grave, his thing is gone. Oh yeah, and then what happens is at the end you have these storylines, like you have these little storylines here. That looks like it's so yeah, so you have John Henry Irons appear at the end of this one, out of the rubble. Got to stop Doomsday. And then you have this storyline here, in which they introduce the Eradicator Superman. You have another little bit here, culminating in Superboy appearing, like so. And then last but not least, you have this one here with Superman coming back, as you can see on this page here. But he's sort of cyborgy. So yeah, fantastic. So that was a little look at the Superman issue 75. Sorry, I just bent down. I know this is quite a long video. And then, like I said, you had this issue of Wizard to go with it, with a metallic cover, some gatefold, metallic, and it was just all about, it was just dedicated to Superman, the history of Superman, the characters are coming into it, some of the history on the films, this sort of thing, TV and films and live action, Superman's friends and foes, price list. No, that's a thingy, sorry. Oh, you got, this is what the old price lists used to look like on the back. You could find your Superman issue, see how much it's worth, this sort of thing. As of April 1993, that was. So this magazine came out in 1993. So yeah, it's just a lot of good memories here. Good memories. But anyway, so that was it. That was it for this episode. This episode of AJ's Comic Book Corner, taking a look at Superman issue 75. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. A lot of reminiscing there. Fantastic. Anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care all, and goodbye.